Greetings. Today, I answer a very important question that has been plaguing my mind for the good majority of the last 3 years, I would say. And that is Casa Bonita any good? For those of you not in the area of Colorado, Casa Bonita is a Mexican restaurant that is more than just a restaurant. It has an arcade in it. It has live entertainment. It has more to do than go in, eat your questionable Mexican food, leave, come home and sit on the toilet for the rest of the night. Maybe not that last part, but you still get the idea. It is more than just a restaurant. Now, I've not been to this place in well over, I think, a decade to say, but it is open again. It has been open for the last 4 years, and apparently that the wait list for getting in to sit down at the restaurant is like a 2-week or even a month-long wait, basically. It took a very long time in order to be able to get a reservation for most people. Not this guy. I somehow managed to land a reservation time for today when I looked at prices and times and everything the previous day. So, time for me to answer my question of, is Casa Bonita still any good? But I'm not going at this alone. You're gonna come along with me and we're gonna find out together. So let's go. So I'm heading there a little early, but I wanted to experiment to do kind of like a POV style thing with my camera right here. And really, this kind of works, but I'll see how well it truly works. While we enjoyed this nice drive to the restaurant here, I figured I could go ahead and fill the time and gap by talking about the history of it. The origins of Casa Bonita started in Tulsa, Oklahoma by a man named Bill Waugh. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, spelled on screen here. The original Tulsa location, the interior made it look like it was an outdoor nighttime atmosphere of a Mexican village, featuring many themed dining areas and meant to serve over 500 guests in it at a time. Sadly, though, it closed on September 30th, 2005 due to a reported inability to reach suitable lease terms with its property owner. It was reopened as Casa Viva in May of 2006 and then closed again in 2007. And there's been no other known reported history of it ever opening again in the Tulsa location, and was eventually demolished in 2015. There was also a location in Little Rock, Arkansas that opened in 1969, but was also closed and rebranded to Casa Viva on August 2nd, 1993, after a reported $250,000 was spent on its renovations, but it eventually reverted back to Casa Bonita until permanently closing in 2005. There's also apparently rumors of a one in Fort Worth, Texas, only open for like 3 years, but this is all just off the wiki and there's not really much to it. As for the Colorado location, it was first opened in 1974 and has stayed open to this day. Unfortunately, it did close in March of 2020 due to the COVID pandemic and has not opened for the solid 3 years. I know, crazy that a place to stay closed for 3 whole years. But unfortunately, the owner had filed for bankruptcy in April 2021, and luckily, the creators of South Park, Trey Parker and Matt Stone, had purchased it and acquired it to give it a significant renovation, and eventually had it reopened in June 23rd of 2023, and now billing itself the greatest restaurant in the world. I don't know if that's supposed to be self-claimed or if that was actually reported to be that. Apparently, a lot went into renovating it here. The creators, Stone and Parker, spent $40 million renovating the whole restaurant and updating the menu to something more akin to what everyone normally eats rather than just like cafeteria Mexican garbage. In recent news, as of this year, September 2025, the actors actually went on strike demanding a fair, livable wages for working there, as they believe that they know that they were underpaid compared to the servers and cooks and bartenders and everybody. So they went on strike the weekend of Halloween this year, demanding their wages up. That's really all I could find, but I just based this off the wiki. I don't really like doing a whole lot of research on things, so enjoy the rest of the drive. Also, I got a little too excited, so to say, in the vehicle. I can't play the original audio because I don't want to get copywritten for it, but just know that most of the time this is kind of how I drive. First of all, for any of you Hawkeye, I guess. Maybe, I don't really know. You might notice that my car looks different. That's because it's an entirely new car that I have here. One that I am paying off myself, and one that I've had for almost 2 months. But anyway, we made it. First and foremost, first impressions now, it feels like it moved. Like, when I remember when I was a kid coming here, that it kind of sat in like the middle of this like shopping district area, but now it's kind of just shoved all the way over to the west. When, like I said before, I thought I remember it being like the center of attention, because there's like a Planet Fitness, a Ross, Coin Laundry, Dollar Tree, and Adventure Dental right next to it. But I could be wrong about that. I think it might also be the fact that they built a new set of stores to the west of it, basically. But it's not exactly how I remember it. Exactly. So first outside impressions are confusing, to me at least. Let's head on in and see if my opinion about that could change. And here we are. Casa Bonita. They have their very nice fountain, which I think I do remember. Given that this place is more reservation than what I remember, they do have to make sure that, you know, they check your reservation. You do have to go through security to be able to get in. Perfect. But in we go. First off, this is pretty much exactly how I remember, with this very nice Mexican architecture right here as soon as you walk in. Reminiscent of, you know, walking down various streets of Mexico and seeing the fine architecture. They also have this very nice prop dining area right here of all their foods and ingredients. Of course, they're all fake, as you'd expect. And yeah, I pretty much got the runaround about what is here and where is what and what times they are. There were only 2 things that I couldn't capture on video that they, you know, stopped me from doing so, which was the magic show and the puppet show. And I'm not even going to talk about them just to avoid any trouble with them. But here it is. It's the interior, the dining area is exactly how it is that I remember, including this giant waterfall. And right away, I got seated up here at my spot. This table here overlooked it all. Can I start with a horchata and a Diet Coke, no ice? Hopefully, the music is not overpowering my voice. They got they do have live music here, which, again, I don't remember if that was the thing they had previously or not. But the way that I remember Casa Bonita is that it was a long walk around, seeing all the different decorations that they had in this place. You order your food. It's kind of like a fast food place. You order your food at one place, and then you pick it up later, and then walk to your table to eat. Now it's more of a sit-down restaurant where they lead you to your table, they bring you out menus, they have a server and everything. One thing that they still retain are their flags right here, that if you need something from your server, you still raise up. They also brought me complimentary chips and salsa right here, and I added some queso as they offered to bring it to me. So starting off, we have their chips right here. Got a good flavor to it. They taste like well done. They have a really nice crunch to it. Not bad. Now we're gonna try their sauce, the sauce they brought out with this. It's a salsa, whatever kind of sauce it is. That's definitely a lot. Hey, that wasn't pretty good actually. It's got some spice to it. So if you're not really a spicy kind, I'd say skip out on it. But otherwise, yeah, it's pretty good. Now for their queso. I've heard some mixed things about it. Okay, I've only heard one thing about it, but still mixed regardless. All I can taste is cheese off of this here. That's literally all I can taste off is just cheese. I don't taste any other flavoring in any sort of thing. Nothing. So I'm afraid the queso is a bit of a disappointment here. Luckily, conveniently, my drink was ready. This is horchata. I've heard about this, but I've never actually tried it. So let's give it a try. That's some good stuff right there. Again, I've heard about horchata before. It's like this sweet kind of like rice drink. I remember hearing about it. Apparently this one has like coconut, cinnamon, vanilla in it. Oh, man, this is good. Approved.
Yes, I can't believe I didn't see that. So I'm gonna go grab some for you, okay?
Thank you. Okay, luckily the plate isn't warm. I was fully expecting this to be kind of like fajitas where they bring it out sizzling on the pan, but it's not right here. They gave me the fillings for their green chili brisket tacos, but they forgot the tortillas. Tortillas. the tacos that I got here, they're really good. That meat is really good. The green chili, it's got not overly spice, just a little kick to it. I like it. The lettuce that came with it, the rice, the beans, that's standard for most tacos, but I think it's really good. Definitely tastes like they use corn tortillas for their tacos right here, which nothing wrong with that. I'm totally fine with like corn tortillas or even flour. Well, I more or less prefer flour tortillas over corn tortillas. I can definitely taste the difference now. Further I get into these chips here, they have a salty taste to them. I wouldn't say they're quite like, say, Chipotle's chips, where there's cilantro lime with that salt on them as well. They do have some zest to them. I just can't really put my finger on what kind of zest it is. Whether it's like lemon zest or lime zest, I can't really tell. So this just kind of happened out of nowhere. This guy here, Black Bart, he just kind of showed up out of nowhere and basically gave me this travel passport right here. Meant for the kiddies, but I mean, I'm basically an adult, a grown-up kid at some point. I mean, I'm coming here of all places. But it's also got this map of all the different places to check out in this place. Now, for the penultimate thing that truly makes Casa Bonita stand out for himself are the sopapillas here. Included with my meal here for $30, might I add, because I came at the lunch hour. Their lunch hour is from 11 to 4, which is going to be $29.99 a person. Any other times it's $39.99 a person. So I would say definitely plan on trying to make this your lunch spot, which I did. Granted, it was a little bit of a late lunch. My reservation was at 3:30. So I'd classify that kind of more as like late lunch, honestly. But I was not really a fan of these as a kid. How do I like them now? A lot of honey on them, and they're definitely really sweet. I think my taste buds are getting to that point where I know what is like too sweet and what isn't like sweet enough, I suppose. These are definitely really sweet. I think it's just mostly honey. I'm coming around to liking honey, but otherwise, without the honey, these are really good. They still got it. Very delicious. Now it's time to go see what, if anything else, is different about this place from what I remember. Right off the bat, right next to my table, in fact, was this very nice mariachi band that was playing their music. It sounded amazing while I was eating my food. We have this famous South Park Cartman statue here that was implemented when the place opened up again. Then we have this booth right here with these dancing monkeys. Luckily this was free, didn't need any sort of credits or anything. That's for later. You basically just tap the buttons, try and like tap them in rhythm. You're not keeping score. It's just like a fun little thing that you can do with your kiddies. While performing the dancing monkeys, the passport fell out of my pocket. Yeah, so that was fun. There was this dancer by this well right here. You know, he was doing an amazing job, of course. There's this little balloon stand area with those free balloon swords, this nice tower architecture here, and then a gift shop. This is one of two that is located inside of Casa Bonita here. One that is right by the arcade and one that is by the exit. And this very nice waterfall here. Now this Black Bart here had challenged me to a game of Mario Kart here that I happily accepted. And so here are the highlights of it.
If I get a slow car and you get a fast one, I declare automatic cheating. Oh, yes! Acceleration's not too great. Oh, I think it's been decided. I'm sorry already for me. Have you played on these kind of machines before?
I have, yeah.
Because if you tap the brake, then you put your nose in the wrong spot.
What?
At the bottom of your own nose.
I have two noses now.
I guess so.
I think you mean, pardon me.
What?
Ha ha.
Do that from here?
Indeed I can. What? I didn't even know what that did. Nice. Ah!
Woohoo! I will find you. I will use a particular set of skills. You can tell no one that you beat me. This is outrageous. Somehow you cheated. I don't know how. I don't know why. I'm going to look at the footage. I'm going to find out. I'll tell you what. us, I'll give you a piece of my treasure.
Deal.
It's chocolate.
Of course it is. Good game, good sir. Now, the arcade is what I remember best, and they definitely have revamped it here to make it look like the classic and the modern one here. So they have a lot of modern games in it, like Coin Pushers and that Pop the Lock there, but they have some classic ones like Pinball and that Feeding Bertha, as well as Skee Ball right there. And the penultimate, the shooting range here, which, of course, I had to try. Casa Bonita did go with the digital card kind of arcade now, instead of the old one where it used to be tokens, so rip in peace to the tokens, unfortunately. But yeah, this is the entire shooting right here. I went with the revolver here. There are other types of guns that you can use, and I did go back and try this again with one of the two-handed rifles, but it was just not working for me. I don't know what it was. I guess my aim was just not good, so I didn't include the two-handed one, but enjoy the show that I put on here of my terrible aim, really. I also had to try out a classic, you know, Skee Ball here. How could you ever go wrong with Skee Ball, since, again, like I said, it's a classic, and it was one of the games that I remember being at Casa Bonita before they renovated the whole place here. And there's my final score of 230, not my best performance. Then I tried the pinball table, which was completely rigged here. All three of them guttered here.
Oh, come on!
Luckily, the last one I at least had an attempt with here, but it's still guttered on me. So I call that rigged there. So that was the fun of the arcade. I ended up giving my card to another family because I just didn't really want any of the prizes. Now for the other dining areas here, there's this cave which looked really cool. I think these places that I'm seeing here are the premium dining areas. Mine was just standard dining, which was just in your regular old restaurant room, basically. But here's the gold and silver mine. The other one was the cave, which looked awesome. And here's a back shot of the waterfall right here. Most people also remember Casa Bonita for the divers that happen at this waterfall here. So here's a back shot and a front shot here. It looks incredible. It looks really pretty. Funny thing is that this clip right here was actually one that I rushed over to see while I was eating. They had announced that they were doing the dives, and I'm just like, I want a shot, I want a shot, I want a shot! And so that was that's that clip right there. But of course, I got more at ground level right here, showing off these incredible divers right here. I don't know their names, I just know that they put on a really, really good show here, and getting the crowd hyped and wild, and a light show going on as well. Woo! Again, they Olympic divers. I don't know if they're quite Olympic divers here, but I mean, the way that they do it makes them pretty much look like one, to me at least.
I got a win.
Lastly was this museo over here, which I believe is Spanish for museum. That horse there, it's like one of those old horses at grocery stores that you pop a penny into and you can just ride it while your parents check out, really. They had one there, it was just on display, because I guess it doesn't work anymore, but here's some other trinkets of Casa Bonita's past here. One that I was directed to was literally a lost phone. That's what its tag mentions. Just some random lost phone that has still been uncollected for 11 years. As I believe it was found in 2014. They have this old telephono booth here, since, you know, no one uses telephone booths anymore. Then there was this fortune-telling bird here. This took some credits, like if you still have the arcade card, which I didn't. Like I said, I gave it to another family because I didn't really want the tickets for it. But the inside looked really nice and really pretty. And last but not least that I found was this back cave office right here. This is of someone named Anise. I don't know if this is tied to history or if this was just part of their made-up history at Casa Bonita here, but it still looked really cool. I would love to have a secluded office like this. This is, of course, as you can see with my change of clothes and everything, this is a later date from when I last finished the video and the initial recordings of my visit to Casa Bonita. And do I, in fact, feel bonita about all that? A little bit. I've said already that the classic Casa Bonita that I know is the kind where you walk through, you place your order, you pick up your food, and then you walk it over to your table while still walking the really long line to see all the different decorations that they had there. The new renovations there, with it being sit-down restaurant style completely there, I would say it definitely was more of a welcome change, since this place is more of a sit-down restaurant than fast food. Aside from the Cartman statue and the new advanced arcade with new games and everything in it, I didn't really notice much other renovations. I also don't really remember as a kid sitting in the premium dining areas or just like the other dining areas that weren't standard to other restaurants. So the mine or the cave or behind the waterfall. I don't really recall sitting in them because I guess when I went with my family, they didn't really buy those premium packages to sit in those areas. But walking around and seeing those tables, they looked cool, and I would definitely think that spending the extra money to go to the premium dining for your first time experience, I'd say it's probably worth it. There were a couple of things that I didn't go do there that I could have, of course. I've talked about the ones that I couldn't get any footage of, which I did see, which was the puppet show and the sorcerer, which the closest I can get is on this pamphlet right here. So here is the puppet show right here. This isn't exactly accurate to the restaurant here. And then the theater right down here is where Sorcerer took place. Like I said, these aren't exactly accurate to the restaurant. This is just a fun little map that they give to people for just something fun. So I couldn't record anything in there. They made it explicitly sure of that. In fact, when I was sitting down for the puppet show, I had my camera put away and everything. I didn't have my mic put away, that was the thing. So security guard had to come over and double check to make sure that my mic wasn't recording. So 0 recordings at all. You had to see it yourself in person. No pictures either, so no one could have their phones out or anything for it. The other thing that I didn't do there was jail photos, which was like your standard photos that you would get at like a seasonal Halloween or Christmas event where it comes looking like this custom frame and everything. They were expensive. I think they were like 15, 20 bucks for one photo, maybe even more than that. But you're basically like in this jail cell here, and you could just do like your standard like something like that with your pictures and get this custom frame. There was tarot card reading, which I didn't do because I don't understand tarot cards really, so I didn't do that. And Black Bart's Cave, which is like this spooky cave that I remember with like a bunch of glowing eyes and everything. I remember being terrified of it as a kid. I just didn't really want to go through it because once again, I'm not a scary attractions kind of person. And like I said, there was another gift shop at the exit of Casa Bonita, which just sold your regular shirts, hats, shot glasses, tumblers, the regular. The gift shop that I was in before that I actually showed footage of had a lot more things there. They had ukuleles that you could buy. They had like some like candy, I believe, and like some flags. They also had the regular shirts, hats, sweaters, and things like that. They had candles there as well. One thing that I did buy from them was this ornament of the building. They had 2 ornaments that I saw that were like this, one of the divers and one of the building. I went with the building just because I feel like as a souvenir that would be kind of more, I would just be better than just having like a diver, in all honesty. So this does answer my ultimate question of, is Casa Bonita any good? And to that I say yes. For anybody that went to it many, many years ago, like I would say like 2000s to 2020, maybe. It's a different experience back then. Going to it now, it's a different experience that still captures the classic Casa Bonita feel to it. Would I go back there? Not really. It's more or less just like that kind of one-off experience. Best with the whole family, but by myself, probably wouldn't again. And seeing everything I did, I've already seen it. There's not really much reason to see it again, really. Especially if I was to go back so soon, which I wouldn't be. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy seeing the new and improved Casa Bonita, and I hope I gave a good, honest review of Casa Bonita. I mean, I think I did. Let me know if there are any other places, I guess locally in Colorado, that I should go check out and get my thoughts on later. And yeah, if you want to stay tuned for when I do any other reviews of any other places, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will talk to you guys in the next episode. Take care, y'all, and to any of you go to Casa Bonita, have a good time there. See y'all later. Bye!